So these Sandhill cranes came to our house for a whole week. They tried to eat my wife's flowers at first, and then they ended up dancing with her. So ended up beautiful. And I tried in the meantime to learn how to sketch them. I wanna share this with you, how to sketch Sandhill cranes. And this is going to be a two-part video. The first one is this one, how we sketch them. And the second one, we're going to sketch them dancing. That way we can add movement to our drawing. So that's why I decided to have a two-part series on this video. And then on the second one is where we can get a little more expressive with our lines, senseless movement. Well, hello, I'm Angel Mercado with Senior Art Strokes, a channel art tutorial that I created just for you. So remember to go and visit it. You will find many videos that will be very helpful to you. If you have seen my videos before, you know my philosophy. I always like to start with the larger shape first. Think about, we're not sketching sandhill cranes, we are sketching shapes. That's what we're looking, the largest shapes, the easiest shapes first. Once that we have looked for those shapes and we have drawn those shapes, then we're going to go and look for the smaller shapes within those shapes, until we go to the third stage where we put everything together and the sandhill cranes will be born, just like magic. So remember that. Always look for the large shapes. Hold your pencil not like this, but hold it as far back as you can possibly can. This will give you a lot of hand movement, arm movement, so keep everything loose at this point. Don't worry about being perfect. Perfection comes later on. Right now you're just learning, so give yourself a chance to learn, and don't worry about mistake, about erasing. Listen, when you're starting a drawing, only you need to see your lines. Nobody any further away need to see your lines. So start them light, a very light touch, and that is the only mistake you can make at this point, is to start way too dark. So relax and enjoy this process. It's the earliest process, and keep in mind this so you can experiment, you can try new things, okay? Don't worry about perfection. So the lighter you hold the pencil, the better it will be for you in the long run. You will never have the need for erasing if you do it like this. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Before we go to the drawing board, I want you to go down below to the descriptions, and you're going to find a free course I have made just for you. I remember how confusing it was for me to draw or to start a composition at first. It was confusing, I didn't know exactly where to start. So I decided to create a video just for you, explaining you, showing you how we go about starting a new drawing, a new composition. Please sign up for it. I will send you another email, welcome letter, and with your free class. And if you don't find it, email box, please go to spam. I'm sure you're going to find it in that folder. And before we go, if you find this video that I'm going to show you today helpful, please help me out. Plus, just by pressing a little button that says I like it, and subscribe if you find my other videos interesting and helpful, because they're there, like I said, for you, to help you out. Of course, if you know somebody who might be interested in this subject, you can share it too. That would be even better. So now let's go to the drawing board and see if we can draw sandhill cranes. Beautiful big birds, bigger than I thought they were until they were right next to me, almost looking at eye level to them. So let's go. Okay, so today we're going to draw this sandhill crane, and the first thing we do, I always like to do, is to my little frame around the page, And as usual, this doesn't have to be that, precise and neat. There. It's just to give us a feel of where we're going to be sketching. Okay, so the very first one we're going to sketch is going to be, look, we're going to start with a very simple shape. Think about almost like the shape of a lemon when I think about it. You see, there, you have this shape and you have this shape, like that. Nothing too complicated. And here we have this line that goes up like this. This will be for the head. We're going to move it a little bit, make it there. And here we have this little oval like that. And from here we have this line that goes straight there. Here we have this line that goes here and then meet the bottom of the beak. See? So we have this oval, one, we have this line and this line. And here we're going to have this line of the neck kind of curving here, coming down, and it's going to meet with the body. Like that. Okay? Here we're going to have it's going to look like a triangle, like this. And that's for the leg and the front. And we can see there, and we're going to have one for the rear leg, another little triangle like, and we're going to go and do the same thing there. So that's your first Sandhill crane. Okay, now let's go and do the next one. The next one will be one that's kind of like, I tried to make two different or three different arrangements. This is kind of like a, not quite, more like an oval than a circle. Okay, and this is going to come like this. From underneath, it's going to have a line like this, and from here, it's going to have another line that's going to go straight down like this. And it's going to curve down, you see? So you have your oval with this line, and then you have your oval with this line. And from here, this one's going to be like the head is going to, you see this line here, the head is going to be about here. So, and since it's going down, it's going to be an oval like pointing down a little bit, you see? And we're going to connect this line like this. You see? And from here, it has a line that goes like that. And from here, it goes and connects with this line, the round one. And this one, of course, is going to come down like this and connect with their body. See? Just like that. Here, same thing, we're going to have, the only difference here is that because of this line connects with this body right in about here, where this circle comes around, right, like that, this part here is going to be a little more under shadow, so that we're going to see. So we're going to see this area like this, and we have this other one for the front leg. The front leg is going to go like this and like that. This one kind of like similar there, and we're going to make it there. You see, very simple forms. And on this one, the upper part of the head is kind of like, they have this kind of like a maroon color, sort of like crimson color. So it's going to come like this. There, and it's going to be darker, so we're going to add down there all the way to the beak. There, and usually the eye is right here. It's in the darker part of the head, and it's nothing but just one big circle there. Okay, and we're going to go back again, define this a little bit better. We're going to give a little bit of curve. You see, here's where you start making these little adjustments that's going to make the bird more unique. Tail, and here I'm just flickering on flicker on top just to create the wing part. You see, this here is the leg behind us, so it's going to be under shadow, so we're going to turn it under shadow like that. This part of the face, okay, we don't need to go all the way around, so if you want to, you have an option here. You can just go and erase a little bit of the back like this. And of course it's going to have a little bit of a shadow there now, which is going to help us create that illusion of being tucked under there, under the skin. There. And you have your Sandhill crane. Let's practice again. So this one we have this oval, right? And from here we have this marking like this, a little bit curvy, not straight. That's going to meet the beak. And all of this will be dark. Like I said, this kind of like a reddish color, like almost like wine. Here again, we don't need that dark mark there of the circle, so I'm going to erase it just a little bit, not all of it. And we are going to start to create the neck like that. Okay. And about here is where the eye will be. There. And see, and of course this part, the back is going to be in shadow. So all of this area here, I'm going to add some tone to it, and a little bit of a tone to this part of the front leg, because it's going to be same thing here. You see, zigzags, kind of like zigzag, and the tail here tends to be a little bit longer. There. Once I know where I want my lines, I can make them darker if I want to, but never before, because these lines will be a lot more difficult to erase than the lines I just made before. All of this other stuff I can manipulate around, I don't have to erase. And we're going to add a little bit of tone here, like be a little bit of a shadow here, so we just add a little bit of tone. You see, I'm going very light too with this. Nothing goes too harsh. A little bit up there, between the feathers. Same thing here, between the feathers. We're going to go a little bit darker, like this. And of course, this part of the leg, I'm going to make it a little bit overlapping and darker there. And this part is going to be a little bit darker. It's going to be turn a little bit against the sun, so it's not going to be getting that much sun. So there you have another one, another Sandhill crane. Not that difficult, is it? Now we're going to put a third one here. Okay, that way you learn how to sketch them from different angles. This is kind of like almost like a circle, you see? And you see how I'm doing my circle? I'm not moving my hand at all. I just go, round and round like this. And since I'm this pointing down, this part here, I'm going to go and create the upper part of the body up. You see, up kind of like pointing here. And from here, I'm going to join this other shape. So see, to me it's kind of like drawing the shape more than I'm trying to draw a Sandhill crane. Part of the neck is on the other side, so it's not going to be as long. You got it there. And I'm going to create my, let's see, we can create our oval like this. And from here, we're going to join it. Here comes part of the leg. This is going to be in the front. Here it's going to be that one a little bit overlapping, and it's going to be for the rear leg there. And of course here we're going to have same thing we done here, the zigzag towards here, because here's where the wing comes, so zigzag is going to be here, but we're going to be seeing a little bit of the underneath of this bird. So the zigzag stops there, and here, just underneath, we're going to start adding tone all the way down to the rear leg, you see? Maybe this one, the legs, they just go out of sight there. And then again, same way, we have this darker tone there. So that's how we create our Sandhill cranes. Not that difficult, just if you just look for shapes, just learn to look for shapes, you will find them. And just to make them look a little bit better, since everything is white, we can start adding tone to the paper. I'm just going to start, let's say these are bushes here in the background. Okay, all the way to the body. And as you can see, so far I haven't used my eraser at all. I haven't had the need to use an eraser yet. And since these are shrubs, I'm just going to make them come all the way down to about here, where they'll meet with the grass. And here I'm skipping the white, you see, just like I did here, I skipped the white. We don't want to kill that part there. And we can continue with this shrub right from here. You can see how I rotate also these strokes. Just kind of like thinking, okay, there's one plant right here, it's going to go like this. So we'll rotate this a little bit also. And of course, you're at home, you have time, you can take your time doing this part. Here I'm just, I don't take my time too much because it's a video and I don't want it to be too long just doing this. So I'm being a little bit, not as careful or thorough as I would be. But everything is very rendered in a very loose manner. And you can see that. Okay. And I'm going to show you another trick here pretty soon. So when you squint your eyes, you think that this starts to blend too much, right? So two things you can do. Right here, you can get your eraser and start reshaping the shape of the bird, especially around the neck. You see all of that? This is done with the eraser there. Same thing here. This was lost with the shading part, but no big deal. We can get it back very easy. Clean that up. I have a brush to do this, but I don't have it with me. Okay. So now we can go back and maybe we can just adjust this a little bit darker. There, to make it look a little more. Right, there we go, and outline this a little bit. I'm not going very dark, but dark enough to see my line. Okay, same thing here on this. I'm just going to go all the way there. And all the way there. And I can go darker if I want to, here a little bit here. And it's going to be up to you how much detail you want to have there in part of the tail. There. So that's how you draw Sandhill cranes. Now you know how to draw them in 3 different positions, right? And just the main key is to start loose. That is what you need to remember. Of course, these are, like I said, these are not precise, for a study or anything like that. No, this is just to help us, get the idea of how we go about sketching them. Okay, so pretty much there's your Sandhill crane. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my eraser. I always say I like to clean a little bit around the edges. There, so we have some clean white. There. So next week we'll do the same, but they're going to be dancing for us instead of just being so there like this. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you practice and learn how to sketch our sandhill crane.